I'm literally so annoyed because this is literally a remake of this video. When I was literally about to edit, my mic was not working. But now, as it seems, it is working. So, let's get back to the video, I guess. As you guys can see, we're going to be reacting to Sexual Soul Destruction, Orthodox Christian Confronts OnlyFans Girls on Whatever podcast by Church of the Eternal Logos. This is the type of content we're going to move into now because I really like this type of content. It deals with controversial topics of society right now, and it leads the world into a better place when you discuss these things. So let's discuss these things and lead the world to a better place. I'm going to move into many different types of content dealing with marriage, the family, church, world religions, etc., history, everything. We're going to talk about all those things because all that is very important when it comes to the truth.
People don't realize is God will give you the answers. If you really have a question you're struggling with and you pray about it sincerely, you'll get the answer. The question is, what are you going to do with that? Because now you are held guilty if you reject it. The more we participate in sin, the more we dissipate those energies in us. That's why sin is death, because without God's energies, how could you live? God sustains all life. He is the source of life. That's actually another uncreated energy. So if God's energy are totally abased and absent within you, you are filled with death.
O Lord of hosts, be with us, for we have none other help in times of adversity but Thee. O Lord of hosts, have mercy on us.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
So you believe in hell and heaven, right?
of course.
Okay, so if someone's not religious and they live their life entirely without God or anything, where do they end up when they die?
So as Orthodox, we do not make claims about people's salvation. What we would say is that God judges. There's an objective morality, right? This is the teachings of Christ. We'd say that's just written in stone fact. That's what everybody's judged on because Christ had a perfect human heart. All of our hearts, which is really who we are, that's what's going to be held up to the light of Christ. So let me finish.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna answer your question, I promise. So we would say everybody is judged within their context. So for example, say there's an old lady who's a Protestant who has lived a very, again, from all standards, a very pious and righteous life. But she's not Eastern Orthodox, what I believe to be the one true church founded by the apostles that still is unchanged. Do I think she's going to go to hell? No. God's going to judge her in her context, and I don't know the fate of her soul. That's outside my pay grade. What we say is we are the fullness. If you want the fullness of Christianity and the historical faith, that's us. Everything out there. So again, like the Taoist monk on Wudong Mountain in China who's doing Tai Chi every morning, is he going to hell? Well, how can I make claims about salvation when he hasn't heard about Christ? And that's where when you ask, you shall receive. When you want to know the truth and the truth shall set you free, the difficult thing that people don't realize is God will give you the answers. If you really have a question you're struggling with and you pray about it sincerely, you'll get the answer. The question is, what are you going to do with that? Because now you are held guilty if you reject it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very, religion is a big thing for me because I respect all religions. Do have a cross on my... I'm not religious, but I do respect every religion. And I don't want to choose one as my own until I fully study and understand. Because I think a lot of people go into religions as their parents are religious and they're born into it, and I feel like you as yourself should believe in it yourself.
Right.
But I also feel like the world is so crazy, like in the science world, right? Like how we're literally on a floating rock and all this stuff's happening. Like God to me can be real because everything else is unbelievable to me. Like how is all this stuff real that we can see?
Actually, you know what's interesting to me? One of the very compelling arguments is the fine-tuning argument. I actually think it's a strong argument for the potential existence of a God.
Yes, the fine-tuning argument is a great argument to show that there is a God, but it doesn't really specify what type of God, what God it is. But if you want to get deeper into who is the God, you have to get into philosophy, you have to get into ontology, history, everything, many things, and that's where you'll find out that it is the Christian God. But if you haven't seen this video up there, make sure to watch that video because it actually goes into that topic.
Sorry,
You want me to explain it?
give me a chance, but I'm gonna have you come in with the dunk, not the dunk on you guys, but with the assist.
All right. I'll be
It's
your
the
Steve
idea
Nash.
that the basis. God damn, they're laughing at me and shit. What the fuck?
What was that?
It's been a year since I've heard the fine-tuning argument. Fuck it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So
This is why I have it there.
Yeah, the fine-tuning argument essentially, when you look at the cosmological situation that allows life to persist on the planet, it is so fine-tuned that if you changed any one thing, life couldn't exist. But we're told that the Big Bang, again, it was 13.8 billion. I think a year or two ago, they then upped it because there was statistical mathematical problems with the idea of just Darwinian macroevolution, which is total random selection. Actually, if you just did the statistics, that would not be enough time for all random possibilities to actually present us to the present moment. And so we saw that based on their cosmology, that the universe has now been upgraded. I think it was like 28 billion years is what they're arguing now. But the point is, the fine-tuning of life.
See how he says they're always changing the date based on what they exhibit from the world, the cosmological world. It goes to show it is all opinion. It's all philosophy. And everyone has a different philosophy. Even these scientists that spread you these macroevolution lies, these 26 billion-year-old universe lies, it's all based on interpretation. It's not factual truth. Because you got to realize literally everything is, in a way, opinion. We human beings exhibit the world through these objective things within the world, but that is still opinion. How can you find the truth then? You have to look into the objective facts of the universe, the philosophy of the universe, the ontology of the universe, ontology of being, why things exist, why things operate in a manner such as this, and history, of course. You have to look into religion. You have to look into many things to find the truth, and it's going to take a very long time, but it is definitely going to be worth it, because it will lead you to a truth, the truth.
To exist on this planet is so precise that how could that possibly be totally random based?
Right, and also, like you said, the chances for such randomness to occur are basically 0 to nothing. Like very small numbers. Extremely small, like multiple zeros. Like 0.0000 times 100 type of small. So with the amount of time the universe has been existing, it's basically impossible for such things to happen. So macroevolution is actually not true.
On what we're told by secular cosmology.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I have a
that in the
question.
back.
Yeah, secular cosmology. Secular. So it's not based on religion. It's based on simply what the person thinks themselves of the universe. So it's completely biased.
It was,
It was really back there.
I have a question. So going back to what you said, like, where, so you're Orthodox, and like, if, like she said, if you're not religious, like, where would you go, right? Heaven or hell? And so, this is like my best friend right here, Lindsay, and then, we both do the same work, and she is one of like the best people that I know, and like I'm a good person. So where do you think we're going?
Well, based on what standard is a good person? So
Like-
again, my standard is Jesus Christ.
Right.
So that's the standard.
Just in the day to day, like we are
Okay,
good people,
well,
but like
you can
what
be
we do for a job.
you can be a really nice person. I won't even debate you on that. Maybe you are one of the nicest people, and maybe you're a really good friend. But again,
Yes, nice is completely subjective. What you could see as nice is completely different in someone else's eyes as nice. Nice is not the standard that you should judge whether you're a good person or not. You have to judge whether you're a good person based on the morals you live by, the standards you live by, the principles you live by. These principles are respected worldly amongst everyone. So being a nice person isn't a principle. It's simply what you think of yourself. So it's completely circular. It's not proof that you are a actual lawful and right person. So of course God's not going to judge you by being nice. God's going to judge you based on the principles that you live by.
today, how are you lining up with trying to strive to be like Jesus Christ? And that then calls into question like objective morality, objective ethics, these types of things. And I would never make a claim about you particular, but we can certainly make claims about behaviors, right? So Christianity, this is where I get, like, this feminized Christianity where you can't criticize behavior is ridiculous. Like, that is not what Christ did in the gospel. They cherry pick a quote here that says, oh, well, you know, he said just love everybody. Well, that's not what the gospel says. The gospel is very clear on what things we should and shouldn't do. And so when somebody transgresses those behaviors, you can call them out. Doesn't mean you then claim what their salvation is or the state of their soul or the interiority of who they are as a person. We can't know those things. Only God does. But with what you've been given and the knowledge that you have, you will be judged. And St. Paul says the law's already been written on your heart. So deep down, this is where, you know, even if somebody never heard of Jesus, and maybe they live in a tribe down in the Amazon, but they participate in cannibalism and human like those things are just naturally violent. You have to be desensitized to those things for them to become normal. And so that's because God's already written morality on our heart. We know it, and that's why we try to preserve innocence in children and women.
Yes. You're desensitized to showing your body online, like completely private parts, and things that are sacred that you should do between someone that you absolutely love and are completely bonded to in marriage. You're doing that with completely random people, hundreds of them, thousands of them. It's not good at all, bro. It's not good at all. They say that they're nice people, they're good people in the day-to-day basis. I've seen this girl, Camila Araújo. She got famous from Mr. Beast's famous Squid Games. This is literally how she acts.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You're either a subscriber of my OnlyFans trying to just talk to me, which is really fucking weird, or you're just a literal fat just trying to troll people.
Well,
so get the fuck out of here.
Well, do you think that people that subscribe to your OnlyFans are weird?
I think anyone who's an OnlyFans subscriber is a little weird.
So you think?
I mean, some of them are really hot.
So let
some
me
of them
get.
are hot.
Wait a second.
Probably a fucking 50-year-old fat fuck who lives in his mom's basement for all I fucking know.
I find
have to go to work.
Well, I am at work right now. I'm currently recruiting. Lydia Lacaton. I want to understand something real quick. So you're basically telling me that the people that support you, the people that put a roof over your head, that buy the food you eat for dinner night, you think that they're all weirdos? All your supporters, you just think that they're weirdos and losers, correct?
Some, but like they got me this fire-ass Rolex and it's pink because they know that, like, you know, it's pink.
Can I ask you can I ask you a genuine question? Because Jeff Bridges is very curious right now. Do you think that you're better than me because you have that Rolex? Like, I'm just wondering.
Absolutely, you fat piece of shit.
So you think that if somebody doesn't have a Rolex, it automatically makes them worse than you? Is that how your brain works?
If you have nothing to offer. It's not only the Rolex. It's not only the Rolex. Like,
how about?
I think we obviously see what's wrong with this, right?
Because they're closer to that structure and they can feel when it's transgressed. But when you violate the purity and you get rid of the purity, you're so desensitized to things that you can't feel like when actually transgressions occur.
Yeah, and that's what's happening now is we have so many women who've been affected negatively physically from men and children as well. You expect them to be able to grow up and still abide by the same morals that did not protect them. So like where are those examples set?
So how do morals protect you? I mean, you control yourself with your morals. So whatever happens to that girl, I'm sorry, but you did not live by the right morals. Or you simply didn't live by morals at all to get yourself in such a position. And the person who did that to you did not live by morals either, because they're doing the same thing you're doing, except in a more intense level. They're following what they want to do, what their passions tell them to do. They're desensitized to violence, and they're in love with themselves. It's all the same thing, but in different levels.
I'm not in favor of defending any man that violates a woman or a child in a sexual manner. I think we should have, especially children. I'm not against capital punishment. I mean, those people need to be, like, that is a sickness. That is, and Christ says, like, those people deserve a millstone.
Do you
like,
think what
you did
we
not
do is a sickness?
I think that it's a sickness in regards to society. I'm not going to make a claim about you two as individual people. I don't know your lives. I don't know your context. Again, I don't know the interiority of your life. God does, though. And you guys know that God does. And so If you feel convicted about things, that's the Holy Spirit. And I do believe that the more you sin, the more the Holy Spirit leaves you. I mean, as an Orthodox Christian, we believe in these uncreated energies. So things like love, truth, logic, mercy, compassion, honor. We believe these are actual energies from God. And that's how we engage with Him directly. Like directly, there's no mediator. It's if I am loving and compassionate and I'm led by logic and reason and I'm pursuing truth, like I am moving towards Christ. And so
So stop using your feminine bodies for complete nasty, disgusting things and for money. And start using your feminine body to create more life, to create a beautiful family, to create beautiful relationships. And men should also do the same, of course. It's not just a one-sided thing. It's all of humanity, because we are all the problem. We're all the problem. We got to fix ourselves.
When the more we participate in sin, the more we dissipate those energies in us. And that's why sin is death, because without God's energies, how could you live? God sustains all life. He is the source of life. That's actually another uncreated energy. So if God's energy are totally abased and absent within you, you are filled with death. And that's what sin is.
It's interesting.
Well, I do have to move it on.
Yeah.
We have some. No, you're totally fine. We have some chats coming in. We got Desert Joe as a representative of the Phoenix metro area, along with Based Thor. We do not claim Chair 3 as one of ours. She gives the women from the Valley of the Sun a bad rap. Disavowed. You're in Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Do you want to respond to that, or?
I think he's just mad about where I live and he doesn't, you know?
Oh shit, Desert Joe.
Sorry.
Desert Joe.
You should see the view, it's great.
Damn. All right, we have Master Monkey 34. Narla is proof Christianity is unserious. Philosophically, it is focused on orthodoxy, correct thought, and not orthopraxy, correct action. If you forgive everything, you stand for nothing.
That is completely false. Christianity is completely serious, bro. It's completely serious. Like, that actually gets me so annoyed, because people don't remember the Byzantine Empire, which was a completely serious Christian empire. They stood by the Christian principles. They uplifted the church. It was a perfect nation. It was a perfect empire, bro. Perfect. Better than the United States. It lasted longer than any empire out there. The Ottoman Empire, which was the empire that conquered it, lasted so much shorter, and it was a terrible empire, and that empire was ruled by the Muslims. We're gonna get into the Muslims in another different video, but Christianity was literally the one that formed the entire world. Without Christianity, there would be no advancements to the world itself, social advancements, scientific advancements, literally everything. Philosophically, it is focused on orthodoxy, correct thought. Well, yeah, correct thought leads to correct action, which is orthopraxy. Correct thought leads to correct action. Like I said, just because people don't take the principles of Christianity seriously into their lives doesn't mean that Christianity is the problem. People are the problem, and I'm tired of people blaming everything on things that they shouldn't blame on, instead of blaming it on themselves, which they are the only controller of their own selves. If you forgive everything, you stand for nothing. That's not true either. Forgiveness has nothing to do with standing for nothing. Forgiveness has nothing to do with not having principles. Forgiveness itself is a principle. It shows that you reject yourself. People who are able to forgive, they realize that they are no better than the others. See, they realize they're no better than the others, so they are willing to forgive others. So yeah, forgiveness has nothing to do with a lack of principles. Christianity literally itself created the principles of the world. Without Christianity, you wouldn't have humility, you wouldn't have compassion, you wouldn't have generosity, you wouldn't have peace among nations.
You want to do a quick response on that one? Or?
I mean, I would assume that what the super chat is trying to say is kind of this weak, feminized Christianity that I was speaking about, and I would agree with him. If it's all about sort of satisfying people's emotional states and like things they're doing and sort of reassuring everybody, yeah, that's totally a fake Christianity. But again, as an Orthodox Christian, Eastern Orthodox, I mean, the whole thing is orthopraxy, because if you don't live the lifestyle, you're not filled with the energies of God, and that equals death. And so if you die and you're filled with sin and you're filled with all these things that actually take the energy away, well, of course you're going to die, and that's what hell is.
hell is eternal separation from God, but we're choosing it right now. God, it's not like there's a bouncer at the pearly gates that looks to see, is your name on the list? I don't see your name on here. No, we're doing it right now. We're choosing where we're going.
And yes, that's it for the video. That was a fantastic video. I loved it. Love getting my thoughts out and everything as well. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it to others so we can continue to spread the truth, what is right. And thanks again. Peace out.